Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy will meet President Cyril Ramaphosa at the Union Buildings in Pretoria this morning on an official working visit to the country. SABC News Reporter Khayelihle Khumalo is on the story and standing by with an update. So, Khayelihle, we believe that obviously the Ukrainian president arriving late last night. What time are the official proceedings starting, the meeting taking place? Perhaps talk to us about the events for today.
Well, certainly, and we can confirm that President Zelenskyy touched down here in South Africa alongside the First Lady of Ukraine, but also by all means expectations are very high. As you know, that this particular conflict between Russia and Ukraine has had really far-reaching implications for the global economy, especially for sub-Saharan Africa, Leanne, where also the issue of food insecurity has been really a major concern. But also you go back to 2023, when South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, alongside some African leaders, went to Ukraine really to talk about de-escalation, to talk about the release of political prisoners. But of course, a lot has happened subsequent to those events, and also we've seen a change of posture in terms of how the United States is dealing with this particular conflict, where the Trump administration is talking about the minerals deal, of course, in light of the massive military aid that has been pumped into Ukraine. But in terms of the program here, the Union Buildings, it's going to be a relatively short program. We're expecting really just around 10 or 11, where the leaders will have a meeting, and then there'll be a media engagement thereafter. Of course, a lot of expectations in terms of the questions from the media, Leanne. As you know, that we saw yesterday the talks in London, where also the issue around the peace in Ukraine really dominated those talks. And we know that this has been a very major issue in terms of the global issues, in terms of the current conflict. We've seen also with South Africa being a G20 president, we saw also this was a very dominant issue during the course of the discussions with the foreign affairs ministers, where they were talking about the conflict, their impact in terms of the civilians who are really bearing the brunt. But by all means, a very massive diplomatic breakthrough for Ukraine to reach this particular point in time, as we know that South Africa also has been maintaining its position as a very non-aligned country in this conflict.
All right, Khayelihle, thanks so much.